What if everything you believe about women is actually a lie? You are standing in a room full of people, yet you have never felt more invisible. You've spent years perfecting a version of yourself that you were told they wanted. The provider, the rock, the stoic observer. You followed the scripts, memorized the truths about what women desire, and yet the gap between you and the person sitting across from you is widening into a canyon. Here is the disturbing truth you've been hiding from. The lie you believe isn't about her. It's a lie you told yourself to avoid the terrifying reality of being truly seen. If you stay on this path, you will wake up a stranger in your own life, surrounded by people who love a mask you can no longer take off. Do you actually know her, or are you just projecting a ghost onto a living, breathing person? It starts with a whisper, a comfortable echo in the back of your mind. You've been told that women are a puzzle to be solved, a demographic to be managed, or a prize to be won through the correct sequence of actions. This is the first layer of the rot. You began to view your relationships as a series of transactions. If I do X, she will feel Y. You look at her and you don't see a chaotic, complex human being with a private internal world as vast as your own. You see a category. You've built a fortress out of these generalizations. They make the world feel safe. They make the unpredictable nature of human connection feel like a math problem. But as you lean into these rules, you realize the air inside your fortress is getting thin. You are performing. Every conversation is a chess move. You watch her eyes, not for connection, but for cues. You are looking for a reflection of the theory you've bought into. The weight of this performance is subtle at first. It's a slight tension in your jaw when she asks you what you're thinking. It's the way you filter your words through a sieve of what a man should say. You think you are being strong. You think you are maintaining control. In reality, you are slowly erasing yourself from the room. The lie is that her complexity is a threat to your stability, so you've traded the woman for a caricature. And now, the caricature is starting to feel hollow. The tension begins to move from your mind into your bones. You are sitting at dinner, the sound of silverware against ceramic echoing like a metronome, and you realize you have no idea who the person across from you actually is. Worse, you realize she has no idea who you are. You've been so busy managing her nature that you've forgotten to exist. You start to notice the silences. Not the comfortable ones, but the heavy, leaden silences that sit between two people who are afraid to speak the truth. You suspect she feels it too. You see her look at you, and for a split second, there's a flash of longing in her eyes. Not for the ideal man you're pretending to be, but for a glimpse of something real. You quickly look away. To be real is to be vulnerable. To be real is to admit that the truths you cling to are just shields you've used to protect yourself from the agony of being misunderstood. The psychological descent is quiet. It's the realization that your understanding of women has actually become a barrier to intimacy. You've categorized her emotions as illogical or biological to avoid the sharp, jagged edges of her actual pain. When she cries, you don't feel empathy. You feel a technical glitch. When she's angry, you look for the cause rather than the meaning. You are a mechanic trying to fix a storm. You are becoming a ghost in your own home, drifting through rooms filled with the scent of her perfume and the sound of her voice, yet you are light years away. The more you believe the lie, the more you vanish. The walls of the fortress are cracking now. The internal collapse doesn't happen with a bang, it happens with a sigh. It's the moment you realize that the alpha, or stoic, or logical framework you've adopted hasn't brought you closer to her. It has only ensured that you will die alone in a room full of people. You start to resent her, not for anything she's done, but for her refusal to fit into the box you've built. You're angry that she's still a mystery. You followed the rules, you did the work. Why hasn't she been solved? This resentment is a poison that you drink, hoping it will make her change. You become colder, more withdrawn, doubling down on the lie because the alternative is too painful to contemplate. If the lie is wrong, then you've wasted years. If the lie is wrong, then you are responsible for the distance between you. The psychological consequence of this is a profound sense of alienation. You look in the mirror and you don't recognize the man staring back. He looks composed. He looks like he has it all figured out, but his eyes are dead. He is a man who has traded the messy, terrifying beauty of a real relationship for the sterile safety of a theory. You realize that you aren't protecting yourself from her. You are protecting yourself from life. You are holding a map of a city that doesn't exist, wondering why you're lost. Every rule you followed was a brick in a wall that you are now trapped behind. There is no going back from this point. You can't unsee the bars of the cage. You look at her, truly look at her, and you see a person who is just as terrified, just as lonely, and just as confused as you are. The lie told you she was different, an other to be decoded. The truth is that she is a mirror. The lie about women was never about her behavior, her desires, or her psychology. The lie was the promise that you could navigate the world without ever having to be truly vulnerable. It promised you that if you understood them, you would never be hurt. But here you are, hurting anyway, with the added weight of 1,000 pretenses. You see the terminal end of this path. It's a long, gray hallway where you continue to play the part, where she eventually stops trying to reach you, and where you both grow old together as polite strangers. It is a life of quiet desperation, masked by a smug sense of knowing better. The realization is cold and sharp. By refusing to see her as a human, you have forfeited your own humanity. The door is not closed, but the handle is heavy. To turn it, you have to drop everything you think you know. You have to step out of the fortress and into the wind without a script, without a plan, and without the comfort of your prejudices. You have to face the possibility that you have been wrong about everything, and that the truth you've been defending was just a coward's way of avoiding the gaze of someone who might actually love you for who you are, rather than who you pretend to be. The room is silent. She is waiting. She doesn't need your theories. She doesn't need your management. She is waiting for you to arrive. The question isn't whether you can understand her. The question is whether you have the courage to finally be seen.